Hello, everybody. It is your lady friend Bonnie, and I am here again to provide you with another lyrical breakdown. So I'm really loving doing these. Let's start the next one, right? So this week we're doing Nas. I gave you power, and this one comes highly requested. So I just wanted to see what this one was all about and kind of dive into it and go through it, like I usually do. We're going to be still grinding to 1,000. So the first winner wins a $100 gift card to Amazon. Second place is a $50 Amazon gift card, and third place is a $25 Amazon gift card. And I think you also get entered to win a suggestion for any of our videos. So we will definitely look into that as well. In the meantime, if you want to see any sort of song broken down by me, yours truly, your lady friend Bonnie, then definitely leave a comment down below and let me know, and I will always check the comments. So let me know what you think. If there's any great songs that you think that I should take a look at. I've done a lot of songs that are I guess a bit older, so if there's anything that's maybe a newer sort of rap song, definitely let me know. But in the meantime, let's get into it. So this came out on Nas's album It Was Written on July 2nd, 1996. So it's a good mid-90s kind of song. We usually kind of get these hits. And this is the second album or any song that I've looked at from Nas. So I did I did Illmatic. I did that one on the Classic Quest, which you can probably see somewhere on the screen here. This is the second, like I said, the second song or second album or whatever of his that I've listened to, and he's still really good. So I'm only gonna want to keep listening to him more and more. So yeah, okay. Well, let's get into it. Okay. So right away we have the intro. Damn, look how those motherfuckers use a blank. Just use me for whatever the fuck they want. I don't get to say shit. Just grab me. Just do what the fuck they want with me. Sell me. Throw me away. Blank just don't give a fuck about a blank like me, right? I'm a gun. Shit. It's like I'm a motherfucking gun. I can't believe this shit. Word up. Word up. So, the producers wanted Nas to actually take this part of the song and not say anything about there being a gun and that he's a gun, because they felt that it revealed the point of the song and it was too obvious. But Nas was really nervous that audiences wouldn't understand that this song was told by a point of view from a gun. So I think he wanted to make that clear, and he was really listen, this is what I want to make. This is, I like the sound of it. Let's just go with it. This is what the people are going to want, and it'll clarify a lot of things. And I don't know if this would have been better or worse without this. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's a good little tidbit of information that everybody was no, don't take that off. But I mean, it was Nas's decision, so it worked, right? And I feel maybe some people looking at it now, some people maybe would think that it's Nas's own inner thoughts and not a gun's inner thoughts, I guess, or inner thoughts, right? Of the gun. So I get it. But yeah, he's just saying in this intro, look at how all these jerks use him and for what they want without his opinion. And again, it's the gun's point of view, right? But it is sort of Nas's point of view, so I kind of get it. They treat him like an object, and they throw him around and they sell him, and nobody really cares about what a gun wants. He can't believe what keeps happening. He can't believe he's a gun, and this shit is that just keeps happening. He hates himself. So it's basically a depressed gun is telling us its story, right? So it's kind of cool. It's interesting, POV, point of view. Okay, so let's get into verse uno. Okay. So I seen some cold nights and bloody days. They grab me and bullet sprays. They use me wrong, so I sing this song till this day. My body is cold steel for real. I was made to kill. That's why they keep me concealed. Under car seats, they sneak me in clubs. Been in the hands of mad thugs. They feed me when they load me with mad slugs. So, at this point, like, or I guess at the very beginning, he's seen some nights that were cold. Maybe he slept outside, or like stayed outside, or had no like power or heat. And days where he's seen like a lot of violence. This gun, right? But I think it is kind of also the point of view. Anyways, this is just me. Let's just keep going. They, I guess, like means the users of the guns, or like maybe like the bad guys, or like the thugs, that he's talking about. They would grab the gun and shoot bullets out of it, but the gun is saying that it was used wrongly. And it wasn't meant for that, even though like it still is like a killing machine. Like it's not meant for that, I guess. I don't know. He's cold as steel. He's, and it also could mean that like a gun is like almost like a heartless like instrument. Like it's cold as steel, like a steel heart kind of thing. So he's usually hidden since it's a killing device. He talks about the places that it's been and whose hands it's been in. Calls bullets slugs because that's the word, that he hears often, like referring to the bullets. And so it's interesting that like the exposure to like the thugs and like these people who are using the gun, all over the place, the gun's kind of like picking up on their like slang, I guess, and like using it, but like, obviously it's not. I don't know. It's sort of like an interesting way to look at things. So the gun's kind of learning from like the people who are using the gun, right? 17 precisely in one head, 17 precisely, one in my head. They call me Desert Eagle, semi-auto with lead. I'm 7 inches, 4 pounds, been through so many towns. Ohio to Little Rock to Canarsie, living harshly. Beat up and battered, they pull me out. I watch as blank, scatter, making me kill. But what I feel, it never mattered. So this gun, it has 17 bullets in it, and including like the one in like the chamber. I had to look all this up. I didn't know anything. So apparently like there's 16, I guess, that are like in the bullet holding part. And one is like in like the chamber. So it's like one is like basically like ready to be fired, I guess. So that's what he's saying. There's 17 bullets in him, and one in the chamber, or in like his head, sort of. Nas gives us the exact description of the gun and like the weight and like the size of it. And the gun has traveled all over the place. And I was like thinking like maybe it was smuggled, or like I don't know how it went all over the place. Also, I guess people bring guns to places. I don't know what people do with guns. Also, I guess like they go through like many hands because the lives of the users are maybe short, like the people who use the gun, and like maybe that's why it's seen so many people and like has been in so many hands and like been to so many towns, is that like the people who use it, like maybe they're not, they go to jail and they leave their gun behind, or they get killed and their gun is left behind and somebody else takes it and uses it and goes somewhere else with it, or hides it, or whatever they do with it, I guess. Yeah, so the guns, they just spread across the country. They're everywhere. They end up in harsh situations. They use the gun to hit people and not just like to shoot people. And that's why it's got like lots of like scars and stuff kind of on it. The gun sees like the reaction he causes to people when he's being shown. And he kills people like without his own consent, kind of like it's really weird. So the gun user obviously never asks the gun if this is what the gun wants to be doing, right? It's like an inanimate object. No one's going to ask like a plate if it wants to be eaten off of, So I guess it's the same sort of thing. Like the gun's kind of feeling like, oh, well, I don't want to be killing anybody. Like this is just what I'm made to do, unfortunately. So yeah. And like he's kind of traumatized by it. So when I'm empty, I'm quiet, finding myself fiending to be fired. Broken safety. Yeah. Okay, let's start that over. When I'm empty, I'm quiet, finding myself fiending to be fired. A broken safety blank placed me in the shelves under beds, so I beg for my next owner to be thoroughbred. Keep me up with the hollow heads. So when the gun isn't being used, it isn't causing violence. The gun is kind of like desperate for it, like it needs that. It like thrives off of that, right? It's sort of like a drug addict, like that's kind of like the fiending kind of thing. So the gun is also partially broken from being, I guess, like mishandled or like not properly stored in like a casing, and just kind of gets like thrown around and put wherever. Kind of like, like how you just kind of throw your cell phone somewhere. It's just kind of like that, I guess. So it's just sort of willy nilly. People put guns under their beds or under their mattresses, and so he's kind of hoping for a more attractive owner next time as well. And he's kind of like a dog, like the way that he's hopeful, I guess, and like doesn't know that much and just kind of is just taking stuff from like its owner. Yeah, he wants to feel full in its belly, so I'm guessing that means where like the bullets are stored, and like he wants like fancy bullets, I guess. I don't really know what a hollow head. It's like, I know it's a type of bullet, but I don't really know anything that much about them. So I guess, like I said, it's probably just some sort of like fancy bullet or something. And then we have the hook, which is how you like me now. I go blow. It's that shit that moves crowds, making every ghetto foul. I might have took your first child, scarred your life, or crippled your style. I gave you power. I made you buck wild. How you like me now? I go blow. It's that shit that moves crowds, making every ghetto foul. Scarred your life or cripple your style. I gave you power. I made you go buck wild. I made you buck wild. So it's just sort of talking about how do you like what guns have done now? Like when you're looking at it, like how do you like the results that this is a result of a gun, so they're just kind of like, well, this is the situation. How do you like it? So it's like, and then like the plow, like it was sort of like when you react to gun bullets, it's because of like him, it's because of the gun, right? So when he appears, he makes crowds move. People are running from guns, and guns are what make like all ghettos bad and make them like unsafe to live in. Foul maybe because it smells like dead bodies, and like dead bodies stink after. I don't know. I was just trying to like get something more out of it. It's his fault that your child is dead or left with a scar or crippled you. It leaves you with that moment for like your whole life, like that moment where you were shot at or shot. Or maybe you almost died or you did die and you came back because you were shot with a bullet, and or whatever. Like that moment sticks with you and you remember that forever, I think. But it also makes people, like the guns, also make people feel powerful, and when in that power they feel like they're wild, kind of, and like that's why, like he's kind of like saying, like the cycle starts again, like when you are doing this and you have guns, and like it causes like all of this, terrible things that keep happening, but you feel cool when you have it, right? So I don't know, it's kind of shitty, I guess. Okay, so let's go into verse 2. So always I'm in some shit. My abdomen is the clip. The barrel is my dick uncircumcised. Pull my skin back and cock me. I bust off, and when they unlock me. Results of what happens to blank shock me. I see blank bleeding, running from me in fear. Stunningly tears fall down the eyes of those so-called tough guys. For years I've been in robberies, giving blank heart to follow me. Placing people's in graves, funerals made because I was sprayed. I was laid in a shelf with a grenade. So this gun is always up to no good. So it's and what gun is used for good, right? So anyways, he just like describes like part of the gun's aspects as like a man's body, and so like the barrel is my dick uncircumcised, pull my skin back and cock me. Like, I guess when you like cock a gun, like from everything I've ever seen in movies, like when you like cock a gun, it's like the same sort of thing as like an uncircumcised penis, like goes back. I don't know. So there's that. So it's quite like vivid imagery, I guess. So when the lock is off, he's able to like freely shoot, which is what he'll do to you guys, and like I guess specifically black guys, and like, or people, anybody who's near a gun, I guess. But he talks, I think, specifically also about black people. He sees what it's done to people in his mind, like the bleeding and the crying, and like he just destroys like like tough guys, and like brings them to their knees, and like it sucks. He's been involved in robberies. He put people in their graves, and the funerals were had because of him. So all these dead people and stuff that happens afterwards. Yeah, it sucks. It's all his fault, I guess, the gun. So he was kept with other weapons and kind of kept loose, like he's just on a shelf, like, it doesn't matter. It just kind of not kept safely. Okay, so then the next lyrics are, met a wrecked up tech with numbers on his chest that say 5209 385 and 0. Had a serial defaced, hoping one day police would place where he came from, a name or some sort of person to claim him. Tired of murdering, made him want to be a plain gun. But yo, I had some other plans. Like the next time the beef is on, I made myself jam right in my owner's hand. So on that shelf, the gun met up or sees like another kind of messed up gun. And it has a serial number on it. And I think that like there are similarities to like Nas kind of like seeing like a gun and seeing, this is also like a reflection on like the black community, I think, as well. Like with the number on them. But I think that also could relate to, I know maybe it's not, but it also could relate to, like the Holocaust survivors with like the tattoos on them and stuff like that. But I think it more means like you're like when you go to jail and you have like the mug shot and you're holding like your card and you have like a number. I think that's kind of like what he's kind of implying, that like they're just numbers too. Yeah. So and I guess like people like scratch off that number if they're like trying to hide. So hoping that the numbers can bring him back to its legal owner. Like, when the police find the gun, they'll be able to return it to like where it came from, because obviously this is not like legally acquired by whoever is the owner of this gun, but it probably is like, probably does belong to somebody that he stole it from, right? And he doesn't like want to be involved in this sort of like violence anymore. He just wants to be like a normal gun, like whatever that means. Maybe just one that like stays in your safe and you never open it or whatever. But in the meantime, like this gun is, he's kind of like planning like a sabotage on like the user of the gun next time. And he's going to like jam, and he's not going to shoot in that critical moment. And I think because he's just kind of like taking a stand and just being like, I'm not going to shoot anybody anymore. Like, stop this. Like, this is going to be, I'm putting my foot down. I'm going to mess up here. So we have the hook again, and then we have verse 3. So let's just get it right into that. I'm not going to go through the hook. It's the same thing again. Weeks went by and I'm surprised, still stuck in the shelf with all these things and that an outlaw hides. Besides me, it's bullets, 2 vests, and then a 9. There's the grenade in a box and that tech that keep crying. Because he ain't been clean in a year. He's rusting. It's clear. He about to fall to pieces because of his murderer career. So it's been weeks, and he's surprised because he hasn't been taken out to be used. He's kind of like, I guess maybe used to be taken out more often. But so here's like all the other gear. He kind of just is like, oh, this is this guy over here and this guy over here. He's sort of like introducing like the team, like, of all these people that he's kind of stuck with on this shelf. So he talks about that. And these are all sort of things that like somebody who's probably not up to that much good stuff would probably have, right? Like this is sort of, anyways, we'll see. So there are bullets, there are padded vests, another gun, a grenade, and another like brokenish gun that we talked about before. And the last gun is crying. because it hasn't been cleaned and is getting rusty. And, if nobody like comes and takes care of him, then it's going to like die or whatever a rusty gun becomes. I guess, you can't clean it anymore. So it's just going to fall apart. So he just wants someone like obviously, the owner of these guns doesn't really care for the quality, and they're not there to like see to it that, gets well taken care of. So, yeah, I think that's kind of like, they only use the guns when they have to kill people, and that's it. They don't really care. Okay, so the next part here is, I can hear somebody coming in, open the shelf, his eyes bubbling. He said it was on. I felt his palm troubled him shaking. Somebody stomped him out. His dome was aching. He placed me on his waist. That the moment I've been waiting. My creation was for blacks to kill blacks. So here, he hears someone coming and opening up the shelf. The guy is clearly upset that he's coming, and he's coming to get the guns, right? So he's doing something. He's crying. He's shaking. He's been beat up. And he wants to go like kind of get revenge, and he's clearly got something wrong with like his head. His dome was aching, so he must have been hit in the head, right? He's put in like the waist of his pants, or like the thing that holster, right? Holds a gun. Maybe he has a holster. I don't know why I think this is like, I don't know, Cowboys and Indians or something, where it's like, let me put it in my holster. I don't know. This is why I imagine it. But I know this is real life, so not funny at all. So he's just sort of like excited to like fulfill his destiny and that what he's good at. And he's made and was designed for black on black killing, murders. And like, I mean, right there, it's a pretty powerful statement that he says that, the whole point was, they get all these out into the world, and it's a lot of ghettos that are using them. That's why he says at the beginning, like, in the ghetto, it's like, don't let them in here because they're going to take over and they're going to destroy the community. Whether people are going to go to jail, whether people are going to die, whether people are going to, end up in some sort of trouble just because of the gun. And yeah, anyways, let's move on. That's my little rant there. I feel like this whole thing has kind of been me ranting a bit. Okay, so it's gats like me that accidentally go off, making blanks memories, but this time it's done intentionally. He walked me outside, saw this cat, cocked him back, said, "Remember me?" He pulled the trigger, but I held on. It felt wrong, knowing blank is waiting for him in hell. So he's waiting for, he's saying that it's like this gun is, he's going to be crazy. He's going to accidentally go off and he's going to kill a black friend or someone, in the black community. But right now it is being done on purpose. Like, he's not just going off and killing somebody accidentally. Like, this is an intentional use of the gun that's about to take place. So he went outside. This guy, he saw the target. He went up to him, and he was about to shoot him, but the gun didn't work. Like, this is sort of like the gun's time to shine by not working because he was sick of killing people. So the next lyrics are, he squeezed harder, I didn't budge, sick of the blood, sick of the thugs, sick of wrath of the next man's grudge. What the other kid did was pull out, no doubt, a newer me in better shape before he lit out. He led the chase. My owner fell to the floor, his wig split so fast. I didn't know he was hit, it was over with. Heard mad blanks screaming, blanks running, cops is coming. Now I'm happy until I felt somebody else grab me. Damn. And that's how the song ends. So it's this guy, the guy's trying to like make the gun work, and he squeezes it again, but the guy's like, no, I'm refusing to shoot. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to kill somebody for your stupid, beef with a person or whatever. So he's just sick of shooting everyone just because someone has a grudge or whatever. But what happened was the other guy, that he was having the grudge with, that he went up to, with a gun, obviously the guy's going to, like, if he has a gun, he's going to pull out his gun to like defend himself, right? And so his gun was newer, it was less beat up, and he shot, his owner so fast. He didn't even see it happen. His head was split open, and the gun didn't, like I said, he didn't realize that, his owner had been hit. Everyone was screaming and running, and cops were on their way. And, the gun was kind of like, I feel good now. Like, as, my owner's dead. I'm going to be free. I'm going to be, the cops are going to come and take me away, and they're going to, I don't want to be used for this anymore. And so, the gun's kind of hopeful. But then somebody's there. Someone scoops up the gun before the cops show up. And the gun is kind of like, fuck. Like, he's just sort of like a depressed gun. Like, he wants to stop killing people. He doesn't want to do this anymore. He's just sort of sad and wants to be better than that, I guess, And it's interesting. It's a really, really interesting perspective that Nas has provided with us here. Again, something that's totally relevant today, 100%. I mean, there was just the school shooting in Florida. There's a lot of talk about guns all the time. There's, something that's coming up, and, I'm lucky that I'm from a different place that doesn't have such open gun laws. But I mean, I guess people feel like they need to have them for some reason. So that's it. That's the whole song. There is the anti-gun march, I guess. It's sort of on March 24th this year. It's coming up. The March for Our Lives, I think, is what it is. And they're marching in Washington, D.C. So if you want to go and do that, and you want to be involved in that, go for it. I think that would be great. And also there's like a day where everybody is like walking out of classes. And that's April 20th. Nothing to do with 420, but because of the 19th anniversary of Sandy Hook, the elementary school that was shot up. 19 years already. I think that, if you want to go do that, if you want to participate in any of those like anti-gun things, events that are going on, in the next couple of months, then definitely do that. Get involved if you feel the need to do that. Otherwise, don't buy guns. I don't know. don't get involved in that. Just steer clear, right? So that's me. I hope you like this. I hope you didn't mind my little opinions, I guess, along the way. I'm not. Anyways, I'll just leave it at that. I hope you have a great week. I'm happy that we made it all the way to here, and this, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And let me know what other videos, you want to see of this. I'll do lyrical breakdowns of any of your favorite songs. So let me know, and can't wait to see you next time. Bye.